All right, good morning. We're going to get started just a little bit early, and then I'm going to go ahead and go back here in the room and start over. So, for anybody out there, it is early. We do have a special going on, so if you would check it out, we'll be tweeting throughout the day and so forth. So, if you're interested, it may be a really good time to start getting interested. Now, I understand, I just want to throw this out there. The market has been rough for a lot of traders. For the most part, you've heard me, I've been intraday trading very well, but the longer dated equity and stuff I have on, just like anybody else, it's being hit, but that's part of trading. So just understand that. My allocation right now, just for anybody that's interested, is roughly, somewhere between, it fluctuates, but anywhere between 3 to 7% on the day. That's it. 3 to 7%, depending on your account size. 3 to 7% could be pretty big. It could be very small, but I just want everybody to understand I too am cautious. Although I am actively trading, I am using smaller um, allocations. So just to give you kind of an example, typically what I'm trading is a risk of 2,500 bucks, meaning I don't like losing 25, but I'm willing to lose up to 2,500 per trade. All right. And here, as of the last 2 weeks, I've literally put anywhere in between 50 bucks to 500. And I do have some positions that are close to 12 to $1,500. Okay. Like fully allocated during this cycle. Okay. So just want to kind of start there. I also want everybody to understand during this doom and gloom, all right, that things do turn around, right? So just like the market never always goes up, it doesn't always just go down. We have to at least try to get our feet wet when approaching levels. So you'll see anytime I'm showing my screen here, I do have levels. I do feel like they're important. And to give you a little bit of background, when I first started trading, I never used technicals ever. I thought it was crazy. I thought people were ridiculous when I would hear things such as, I will take Apple once it goes over XXX, right? And I used to think, well, that's crazy. Why wouldn't you just take it now, right? Why not take it now when it's cheaper? And so, I was really stubborn for so many years, and I would take the trade and then it would go straight down or something like that. And then I would find out later, years later, after getting involved in technicals, hey, I was taking right into resistance points or pivots or supply and so forth. Okay. Now I want to make this really simple. So Trendy Trading, what we did is basically we found levels where resistance and support are, whether you call them supply and demand, resistance and support, if you use EMAs to stay in a trade, it's all basically the same. Really, really good traders, what you will see is that we all come together, right? And we come together at a certain level where we're looking to take a trade. Some traders are really good right to the tick, and some traders, they're just interested in that roundabout area. Basically, what we've done is go back and back test, and we found our levels, and they work. Do they always work? No. You cannot be 100% in this market. All right. So, what I want you to do is if you're watching out there and you're asking, hey, John, can we look at this chart? I want you to see the levels that are already on my screen. I want everybody to understand these levels are not put there after the fact. They're actually there in advance, anywhere from a week to 1 year before price getting to these levels. It's very straightforward. When price is hitting the upper levels, we look for resistance. Some people call it supply. Some people call it resistance. When price is moving down into one of my levels, I'm looking for support. Some people call this support. Some people call it demand. Okay. It's pretty straightforward. Far as trying to stay in trades, I like to use EMAs. I also, very transparent, I thought EMAs were a waste of time. But then I found myself getting out of trades too quickly. And so the only thing that can really help me stay in a trade are those EMAs. And most importantly, having targets. Targets are so important. And we teach that at Trendy Trading. One thing that we really want to do is help traders find these levels. I keep no secrets. I give it all to you. And I feel like I can give it to you within a very substantial amount of time where you feel confident. Now, once you get the levels, once you have a blueprint ready, it could take you years before you develop the mindset to really become successful in trading. Repeat that, years. A lot of traders, they get too confident and they give it all away. I can't tell you what the magic potion is, but as I tell all my members, one of my favorite people to go to is Mark Douglas, the late Mark Douglas. And on YouTube, most of his stuff is free. You can watch Trading in the Zone, but my favorites are actually, okay, are actually like this four-part series. And if you go to that, I like number two. Number two is my favorite. If you just sit and listen to it, people used to, John, how many times have you listened to this? Literally, I've listened to it while mowing the grass, taking a shower, walking around the house, constantly, constantly use this as a reminder of where you are. I promise it will relate to something you have done in the market and it will help you and give you some confidence that it's okay to not be the best trader during this time. What's important, in my opinion, is that you stick with the process. Unfortunately, many traders will give up during this cycle. They will go and try to find other processes that work for them. Once they go there, they might, the market might turn and all of a sudden it works for them. And they say, man, I knew this process was better. They start that process, but then when the market turns again, that process doesn't work anymore. But understand this, that's just the process of trading. If you could stay consistent and be flexible and just fine tune your process to a point where the market changes. That means smaller allocation. Maybe you don't want to go with high beta names. Maybe you want to go with something that's a little bit safer. Maybe you just want to step aside. Whatever the case is, I just want to say good luck. All right. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me and I'll do my best to help you. Okay. No, I can definitely share that with you. Yeah. I'll give you I could give you a link here. Give me 1 second. And I will find that for you. So I'm going to get started here in about 6 minutes, but I just wanted to talk with everybody and just kind of give you some information that I think can really help you. I do genuinely care. I think my members would tell you that. This is unlike any other service that's out there. Um, I genuinely care. I reach out to all my traders. I've never had that many traders in the room. I'm not one of these big fancy rooms where, somebody, I can't reach out and talk to somebody. It's very, very important to me. And the reason why is because I was there with you. And at times, I still find myself, just like anybody else, um, you know, looking for, what's going on right now, right? Yeah, that's right. SPX says Trading in the Zone also is an Audible. It is, and it's right on YouTube and it's free. And you can just keep watching it, which is crazy. And let's go back over here. Sorry, I'm just trying to give you that. And this should be the one. Try that out right there. All right. So again, it's pretty amazing when you guys are going to sit here and watch this stuff. I found my charts out on blogs, folks, where people were asking, check this out. I have to share this story. Somebody was sharing one of my charts, and one of my members reached out to me and he said, John, somebody's like putting your stuff out there on another blog. And I was reading it, and at first I was kind of irritated, but then I was kind of proud, right? And he had asked this person, people who run a website who actually develop scripts and sell them to people. And he said, look at these levels. Can you get me these? And the guy that actually designs and creates scripts said, these were manually put in. So I couldn't do anything but help but laugh because he kept showing where price was hitting our levels and moving exactly like we had planned. And the guy who created the scripts didn't believe in it. Blows my mind. All right. So we have a very powerful tool here. But again, circling back, it's all about you. You heard the analogy. I could give you the keys to the Ferrari. Doesn't mean you know how to drive this race car. I mean, seriously. All right. A lot of things could go wrong. What we try to do, if you will, is build you a map of trading. That's what a blueprint is. So I'm showing you areas where there's support. And then what I like to do is give you areas of targets. Okay, those targets are important because when you're driving and you have this map, sometimes you run out of gas. You need to stop and you fill up your car and then you continue on your journey. Well, I want you to look at my blueprints like that. I try to stay away from too many lines, but I want you to understand at those lines are kind of like a gas station. Price moves up, and what happens is buyers run out. Okay, instead of getting gas, you're pulling over, you're resting, and you're waiting for more buyers. Once we get enough buyers, we then set over that gas station and then we move into the next place where we want to look for buyers. At some points, there are not enough buyers, so price turns or the car turns around or the person running the marathon gives up and they go back to where they remember finding buyers. It's very straightforward. The news is a catalyst. Your friends are a catalyst. Everything out there is a catalyst to make that price or that car go faster into those levels. Once you understand that, things become a lot more clear. It's not, hey, this happened in the political world. Hey, this just happened. It's because you ran out of buyers, plain and simple. And when you run out of sellers, the buyers take over. This green box right here, again, good morning, everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started. It's 10:30. I can't make this up. It's Halloween. It's a full moon tomorrow. It's a blue moon tomorrow. This makes my hair stand up. And we have elections. There's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of things out there that could create some craziness. Okay? But one thing is certain. I don't care if you're looking at the news, look at this chart. Prices move down into the green box. This is a new blueprint. Price has moved out of that green box. And while you were sleeping, you're probably saying to yourself, man, I wanted to get rid of my puts there, or I wanted to try and get long there. But now they've already pushed it up. So what do I do? Now, this is the blueprint that I gave my traders last night. I did add a couple lines in here in the green box. Into the red box, we changed that, and this was given last night. Notice that we pushed right up into my target and rejected. How did I get that target? I could teach you how to find those targets. Okay. Why is ES futures so awesome? Why is micro ES futures so awesome? Because you can hedge. So at night, if you're net long, you can short. But where do you short? I teach you where to short. Oh, but I missed the move. No, you didn't. Now you know how to trade futures. You can trade them early in the morning, late at night. You can make that money before most people even wake up. Okay? Don't make excuses. There's money to be made in this market. If you're losing, don't hang on to a loser. Don't be upset with yourself. The market's not mad at you. Okay? All right, today, let's go ahead. We're going to make this really simple. I'm going to show you a couple tricks really quick. All right, now I'm not going to use this entire range up here. It's not important for today. What's important is I'm going to take this down candle from yesterday and I'm going to simply just measure this really fast and I'm going to give you some levels. As of right now, price is laying underneath the 32.81. As long as it's under there, the price remains bearish for today. This is today's look. Okay? The trend change of this big down candle does not happen until 33.15. 33.15. Once 33.15 breaks, we do have a high probability of hitting 33.40 by 53. I do have that probability, that number, but I won't share it right now, but we know that it's high. On the downside, if we break down, what is important from this big daily candle, okay, is that it can at least hold today 61.8%, the golden Fibonacci of that day candle, okay? You're probably asking me, well, what is that level? Simply measure today's candle, and this is just a rough. We're looking at 32.50. That's your level that you don't want to break, okay? 32.50. Notice that my first line was rejection. Line in the sand is 33.03. We need 33.15. As long as price is staying under here, be cautious. Now let me go ahead and take you into the 4-hour candle. All right, the 4-hour candle, as I've shown you every single morning. The 4-hour 9 EMA is a doozy, right? I mean, I think we can all put that together and agree with that. Am I right? So why is it when price is moving up or down, people are freaking out? Let me repeat it for the 100th time. As long as price cannot close over this level, do not get excited. Let those words sink in. Okay? As long as price stays under here and price on a 4-hour candle cannot close over the 9 EMA, don't get excited. The turning point, in my opinion, will be once we can hold above the 9 EMA intraday on a 4-hour. And then we will go into a daily candle and we will look for an inside and up. And then from there, I believe the reversal happens to the upside. So for now, stay cautious. Allocation is smaller. Capital preservation. Don't be worried that you're going to miss something. We teach you how to jump on that train with everybody else. The problem with trading is too many people are fearful of missing out. FOMO is a dangerous drug. It creates dopamine in your brain just like it does at a craps table, a poker table, pulling a slot machine. The issue is you're playing with real money, and a lot of people have saved this money up. I don't want you to lose money. I don't want to lose money, but it happens in the market. The key is to be able to survive in the market during these conditions, right? We want to survive. This is a marathon, not a sprint. And honestly, folks, I know you've heard it before, but if you're wanting to gamble, take some money and go to Vegas. It's a lot more fun. You can stare at a lot of different people, do a lot of cool different things. This is just a screen. All right. So again, if we can get over the 4-hour 9 EMA, let's have a good time. Let's go ahead and go over Apple. All right, so this was Apple, and I find it quite interesting. This is our blueprint, folks. We haven't touched this. All right, this was the green box that I said there's buyers. And notice that price has come down and it pushed off of this. But what's crazy is everyone's freaking out about Apple, right? I mean, seriously, guys, it's down $5. You know, $5 is a big deal because we've done forward splits several times. So it's a lot of money market cap wise. I get it. All right. But try to erase all that and just keep in mind, it's down $5. All right. So it's not the end of the world. All right. For some reason, if we continue to break down, this is the same thing. We're looking at a 4-hour 9 EMA. Pay attention to it. It's resistance until proven otherwise. Roughly, it's about a 111.72. What we'll be looking for today on a lot of these names is if the demand holds over on the ES, then we potentially have a nice ride, okay, from red to green. Possibly. If we continue down, be paying attention to your pivots or just the bottom of these candles, and these can be your targets to the downside. All right. If we take out the session low over here at around 108 and some change, then guess what? Just like the ES, I'm looking for the trendy edge at or around 107. Okay. Very straightforward. 4 hour. Now, one thing I will tell you before I continue is that it's Friday. I don't like weekly options, but I will take them sometimes. Instead of calling them a lotto because I actually trade them off my levels, I like to call it a low probability, high risk trade. That basically that's like saying lotto, right? It's a low probability, guys. Like literally, it could be like 20% probability, which means 80% you're going to be wrong. But we're not throwing big money at it, all right? So what I may be looking for is if price comes down and flushes and everybody's scared because of what they saw overnight and they start to get short, then I may be buying up here for a move over the 9 EMA for possibly Apple trying to reach up and go green. Who knows? To the downside again, 107. Let's go to Facebook. All right, Facebook. We got an inside and up here on the 4H or the 4 hour. I threw a neutral strategy on here. We're at the accelerator. You can see its resistance. Any of my levels are resistance when price is under until we can reclaim. Right now, the neutral is 282 by 276 and some change. It's pretty wide. I'm trying to keep myself from trading it. We are higher on the curve, so what I'd like to see is on open, if for some reason it spikes, look at all this resistance across here. All right. Most likely it would then pull back. So then again, waiting and being patient, letting buyers and sellers kind of do their thing, and then we may break out here into something like this into 287. To the downside, I'd be watching again the 4H 9 EMA. Again, it's Friday. If you don't like the 4 hour because that's kind of a long time to wait for something, all right, depending on the close, if you're waiting for the candles to close, we can change these to anywhere between 30 minutes and 1 hour. If you're above that 9, you can try to stay long over that. If you're below the 9, it's going to be resistance until proven otherwise. Okay. Let's go ahead and look at Amazon. Again, Amazon, these kind of crack me up because, you look at everybody's, what they're talking about out there, and I'm like, man, nothing's changed. We have lower highs, and right here, we actually have higher lows right now. This is a sideways trade, no matter how you look at it. All right. This was a curve that I put on yesterday. All right. 66 and 33% between two major levels. Right here, you can see that price came, after the earnings hit. It hit our trendy edge. See that? And what is it? When price comes up to the trendy edge, you look for it to be resistance until it's not. Came right back down. This is no different. I don't care about earnings. Price action told the story. Okay. So right now, if we can hold 3122, look for a quick dip and then a possible move just like the rest. If it can't hold that 3122, look down below. There's just a small little gap right down in here around 3098. If that's taken out, most of these, they're close to the bottom of the curve down here around what I call the trendy edge at around 2947. Okay. So that's Amazon, Facebook, and Google. Let's go ahead and look at Netflix really quick. I took some Netflix yesterday. They had some great news, right? They raised their subscription. That's good for the stock, bad for you. Um, this was yesterday's, I believe we had this trade for a couple days ago and it popped huge yesterday. But far as today is concerned, from a 4H perspective, look at it. It's above the 9 EMA, which is kind of neat, right? So it's holding. It's a little bit different than what we're looking at across the board. It's actually holding its trend right now. It consolidated as well in here. Now, Netflix is famous for, I call it the pop and drop stock. It tends to pop, and gets people sucked in, especially in a market like this where you're hesitant. The candles move quickly, and by the time you react is usually by the time it wants to turn around on you. But watch it. It was super strong yesterday. Let's watch it to see if we get follow through. It's probably one of my favorites today if it can continue to hold the 9. On a dip, look for it to catch around 494, 495, and then look for it to continue moving up and possibly going green. It needs to get over 504.21. Okay. All right. And let's look here. Raul, you're saying that square is at the ME? Yep. It's at the ME. And at the 4, it's at the 9 as well. It's come into the edge. It's popped a couple times off here, so it's been a nice little trade. If I'm expecting a small drop and then a push, and I'm not sure that's going to happen yet, but let's just say that across the market it does, then we could get this push into here and then up from there. Okay, this could be a nice move when it squares earnings. We're looking right here. It's coming in 11.5, so this actually could be a nice bottom, right? Notice right here, we have a level that price has not come into. Let's just say the market sells off a little bit more than expected. Then maybe I like this into that next week. Okay. And then we get some sort of move like this into earnings. Okay. And then you'll have this level down here that possibly would exist for earnings. And then we have this level up here that could be an earnings. So an iron condor somewhere in here. Okay. All right. So besides those ones I've just shown you, is there anything else that you guys would like to take a look at? All right, let's look at AMD. All right, AMD, same thing. Came down into the ME. It's lower on the curve, folks. You know, everything is coming close to lower on the curve, which is a buying opportunity. The catalyst that's out there that keeps you from wanting to put money into this, again, would be the election and the uncertainty of the market. The levels themselves, I'd be watching for a bounce off of this. And you have seen it has worked over and over here, 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 and here. The trendy edge is for real. It's working so far. If it breaks down, look for price to move into 74 and probably a nice buying opportunity here at 73. It's already been tested, 73 and a half. If we get over the 4-hour 9 EMA, look for a move into 78.30 and 79.13. If it breaks over 79.13, you could move pretty nicely into 80.81. Okay. And let's look FSLY. All right, FSLY, here we are at 67, down a little bit with the rest of the market. Let's see where it could potentially go. I bought out quite some time here. Not concerned at all. Again, I'm looking at the monthly. This is important. Please note, we're right at the 9 EMA. This could be a huge turning point. I don't know. What I do know is it's testing a pretty big level here. Okay. As far as the day is concerned, I'd be setting alert. So for me, if the bulls kind of come in at some point in this market and we start to break back above here, DC, then I'm going to be looking to add into my spread position that I bought because this shows me if we can come back up here and get above this, then I'll be looking for the upside, okay, into their next earnings. Shea, let's look at JD. All right, so we're sitting at 82.29, 82.56. Just like I've told you guys over and over, I can't make this up. It's moved very nicely into the trendy edge, and you're basically just in a holding pattern. Nice consolidation here. If the market indeed, again, is coming into demand and we do find buyers to start stepping in, right? Maybe a big catalyst over the weekend, who knows? That nice little initial pop into elections, I don't know. but I would and could see this getting over this level. And that's probably most important because right now I'd be selling calls against this, like call credit spreads, until it can actually show that it can get over this 85 level. Once it does that, we'll be looking at the ATH of 86.57. And above that, I have extension targets, as you can see here, from 90 all the way into 98. I do like this, but I need to see that 85 get taken out. Okay. Oh, let's get to Google really quick. Google was great. I wish I would have just kind of stuck with my target. This was the target that I gave you guys. And you can see here on the 4 hour, we pushed right into the trendy edge and it resisted. Okay. So today, my update is Google hit target in the after hours on earnings catalyst. If 1643 holds, I'm looking for an attempt back up towards 1689. Current price is 65. Okay. If not, if things start to break down like we talked about, look for this 9 EMA down here. That's on the 4H. Banks were pretty strong yesterday as well. I bought some GS. I made money on it, and then I rolled into a low probability trade. But again, same look across the board, folks. That 4H is going to be important today. In many circumstances, the 9 EMA is on top of price. It is resistance until proven otherwise. So if I were you and you're sitting at home, I would most likely have my candle set to a 4H, and I'd be waiting to see if this is going to continue being resistance. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to show you a little trick. You're going to sit here and think, you should be thinking, if you're smart and you've been trading TA for a while, well, 4 hour candle takes 4 hours to close. I prefer my candles to close before I react. So I can't wait on a Friday for 4H to turn. So I'm actually going to decrease this time once we get over it. Okay, if price can get over that, then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to go to something like a 30-minute, even a 10-minute. And once I do that, I want to see that we can stay now above the 10-minute. All right, especially for an intraday. Let's look at ES one more time. This is where we're at. For members, we're going to look at the ES just like we do in the mornings on the 5-minute to see if we can bid above that PMZ or if it goes ask. You can see here how well it does. It gives me a nice intro into the day. Yesterday, um, I took this trade for a couple points and then I brought my stops up, got stopped out, and then we made some nice intraday trades off of this move on the intraday. Today, once again, we'll be waiting to see how we react to this PMZ. Okay, very cool. I love these little boxes. They're powerful. All right, so again, thanks so much for checking us out on Twitter. And where are we at? Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. We appreciate you. Thank you. Be looking for today. We are doing a special that includes members. Okay, that includes members. So be waiting. Our marketing team will send out some information throughout the day. I think it's going to be one of those you got to guess the close of the SPY or something like that. But I think it's a great opportunity, right? But here's the thing, here's a rule. If you get and you win this, say you're not a member, you don't come in here and just stay quiet. You got to come in here, you got to ask questions, you got to be involved. Okay? There you go. Buy three, get one free, baby. Yeah. But honestly, good luck to all of you. I hope you do really well today. I know we all need it, right? Not only just, for your own sake, but I think that nobody really likes, unless you're just an evil person, nobody likes to just see the market come down and go down and go down and go down. I mean, we do want things at bargain basement, prices. I do. So it's nice, but if you go back and you study the ES, I mean, even in the last election, it wasn't like this, and we also didn't have a pandemic going on about COVID and so forth. So things are different, but are they? Let's see if the demand levels hold. Good luck again. We'll see.